My beloved child, come away from the noise. Come away from the distractions of this moment and incline your ear to my voice. For what I am about to speak is not idle encouragement, nor is it merely gentle comfort. It is a sacred directive, an urgent whisper from eternity, birthed in the chambers of divine vision. I speak now because I see what you cannot yet see. I understand what your thoughts have not yet grasped. From the place where I dwell above the time-bound illusions of this world, I have discerned what approaches, and I will not remain silent. There are individuals drawing close to you whose hearts no longer beat in rhythm with the light. Once, they may have been carriers of peace, reflections of truth, but now their words have become weapons cloaked in softness. Their smiles are masks stitched in deception. They appear gentle, kind, and understanding. Yet beneath the surface, there is corrosion of betrayal waiting to unfold. My child, I do not reveal this to cause you fear, but to awaken your discernment. Many before you have walked unknowingly into snares because they judged by appearance rather than by the spirit. They assumed kindness always signified goodness. But deception is rarely grotesque. It is beautiful on the surface and deadly beneath. That is why I am speaking to you now, because I love you deeply. Deeply enough to not let you wander into destruction while thinking you were walking into blessing. Hide yourself not in fear but in wisdom. Let me lead you to safety, to the sacred places that human eyes cannot reach and where the enemy's hand cannot touch you. They have plotted, they believe they are unseen, but I am the God who sees. I see the murmurings spoken in shadows, the half-truths twisted into false promises. I see the envy clothed in compliments. I see the alliances formed behind your back, wrapped in charm yet born of spiritual darkness. My gaze misses nothing, and because I love you, I raise my voice. Not every message I bring is tender, but every message I speak is love. Pure love that shields, that warns, that guides. If I sound urgent, it is because the time is short. If I sound stern, it is because I am drawing you away from what would cause you to stumble. Even now, within you, the Spirit has stirred. That unrest you've been feeling, that quiet dissonance you've tried to ignore is not mere anxiety. It is the Holy Spirit groaning with knowledge too deep for words. You have felt it in the tension that never leaves after certain conversations. You have noticed it in the subtle heaviness that follows particular encounters. You've been given dreams that awaken you in the night, strange, unsettling, hard to understand. And yet you know in your spirit that these are not coincidences. They are alarm bells in the spiritual realm. This is how I speak when words are not enough. This is how I lead you, even before you fully comprehend what you are being saved from. So when I say to you, hide, understand this is not defeat, it is positioning. I am moving you out of harm's reach because you are being prepared. Prepared not only for safety but for significance. A shift is coming, and those who obey will not only be protected, they will be elevated. Beloved, there are people who once walked with me, who once carried my anointing and stood beside you as beacons of light. But over time they failed to guard the purity of their hearts. Envy entered. Compromise crept in. They accepted invitations from darkness that appeared wise, strategic, even spiritual. But now they carry a residue of rebellion, and their closeness to you has begun to affect the atmosphere around you. Just like the heat from burning coals, even if you do not touch them, their nearness can still leave a scar. You, my child, were created to be sensitive to what is holy. But if you remain too close to those who no longer walk in obedience, your spirit will become dulled. You will begin to question what you once knew clearly. You will start to tolerate what you were once called to confront. That is why I say to you now, separate. This is not isolation for punishment. It is separation for preservation. The still, small voice you feel, that subtle nudge to withdraw, to pause, to be alone with me, that is my leading. Do not dismiss it. I never lead without purpose. Every dream, every feeling of unease, every sudden change in connection it is orchestrated with divine precision. Have I not always given warning before the storm? Did I not speak to Noah before the flood? Did I not send angels to lead Lot out of Sodom? Do not think I have changed. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Before every shaking I speak to those who have ears to hear, and I am speaking to you now. Do not ignore the signs. Do not override the unrest. And above all, do not assume that someone's past alignment with me guarantees their present obedience. Some who were once used by me have stepped out of step with me. Some who once shone with light now carry shadows. My child, I am leading you to a quiet place, not to hide you from the world, but to protect the sacred work I am doing within you. What lies ahead is not merely a change of scenery, but a shift in dimension. The path I am setting you on requires clarity, strength, and a sensitivity that cannot be nurtured in chaos. If you trust me enough to withdraw now, to obey even when it costs comfort, then what comes next will not destroy you, it will define you. And on that day, when the dust settles and the truth is revealed, you will see with clear eyes why I whispered this warning in your ear. My beloved child, listen deeply now, for what I share in this hour is not a suggestion but a call that echoes through realms unseen. You are being called not away from love, but deeper into truth. Not into fear, but into sacred discernment. You have reached a threshold in your journey where not everyone can follow, and that is by design, not by accident. There are paths reserved for those who are willing to walk closely with me, and these paths require a Shedinga holy severing from what no longer carries my breath. There are people in your life whose light once burned brightly. They prayed with you. They lifted you when you were low. They spoke my name with sincerity. But something shifted. Slowly, silently, subtly. It began as a glance toward worldly affirmation, a craving for recognition, a tolerance of compromise. And over time, the light they once carried began to dim, not all at once, but through the accumulation of unchecked choices, unrepented attitudes, and alliances formed outside of my will. You saw the signs, didn't you? The way their counsel shifted from spirit to strategy. The way peace left the room when their voice entered. The way your heart, once uplifted in their presence, now felt uneasy. That was not judgment in your spirit, it was discernment. That was me warning you. I gave you glimpses. I whispered in dreams. I allowed friction to stir where once there was ease. Not to create division, but to alert your soul. What once was a blessing is now becoming a hindrance. You see, not all separation is loss. Some separations are elevation in disguise. You are not abandoning people. You are responding to my voice. When Abraham left his homeland, it was not because he hated his family. It was because he heard me calling him to a land I would show him. Likewise, when I asked the disciples to leave their nets, it was not because fishing was evil, but because something greater was being revealed. My child, you cannot walk into what I have prepared while clinging to what I am asking you to release. And I know it hurts. I know the idea of letting go can feel like betrayal. But hear me. True loyalty is not measured by how long you stay in someone's presence, but by how faithfully you follow my presence. You are not being disloyal by choosing obedience. You are being refined. You were never meant to carry everyone with you into every season. Just as some leaves must fall in order for new life to bloom, so too must some relationships come to their natural conclusion. This is not bitterness. This is not coldness. This is divine alignment, because the weight of their compromise will begin to slow your steps. And you, beloved, are being called to run freely, lightly, purposefully. Let me explain what you may have already begun to feel. That subtle heaviness after conversations that seem harmless. The way you replay their words, sensing something beneath them, but not fully understanding why it unsettled you. The moments when you laugh together, but deep within, your spirit recoils. These are not emotional overreactions. These are indicators that your spiritual atmosphere is shifting. What once fit now feels foreign. What once inspired now drains. And if you ignore these nudges, you will begin to mistake numbness for peace and confusion for humility. I am not asking you to hate anyone. I am asking you to honor the truth within you, to love them enough to bless them from a distance, to trust me enough to walk where they cannot come, to believe that in your obedience, I will take care of what you leave behind. Do you remember Saul and David? There was a season when Saul's presence meant affirmation, mentorship, covering. But when Saul's heart turned from me, remaining in his house became dangerous. Had David clung to familiarity, he would have forfeited the throne I prepared. He had to flee not because he was afraid, but because the anointing was shifting, and the place that once nourished him could now kill him. Beloved, you are being invited into a sacred transition, a move from what is familiar to what is holy, from what is safe to what is sovereign. But transitions require clarity, and clarity requires quiet. That is why I am calling you into the hidden place, into the wilderness perhaps, into the unseen and misunderstood, not to punish you, but to protect the formation of your purpose. And yes, you will be misunderstood. People will say you are distant, cold, unfaithful. They will accuse you of pride, of spiritual superiority, but do not be dismayed. They are not rejecting you, they are reacting to the separation I have initiated. Do not explain yourself to those who were not present when I spoke. Do not defend your path to those who never saw your wilderness. I am your witness, and I will vindicate you. In this place of hiddenness, you will be healed. Healed from attachments that once defined you, healed from expectations that never belonged to you, healed from the noise of opinions and the weight of performance. And as I heal you, I will also reintroduce you to yourself and to the world. Not as who you've been, but as who you've become. Not as the servant always striving, but as the son and daughter who abides. You may feel alone, but you are not. You may feel invisible, but I see you. You may wonder if this sacrifice is necessary, but I assure you, the fruit will justify the pruning. Because when the new doors open, you will not be tempted to bring the old with you. When I place the mantle upon you, you will know it was earned through surrender, not performance. My child, trust this process, even when it hurts, even when it stretches, even when you must let go without closure. Know that I am doing something deeper than convenience. I am cultivating eternal impact. I am aligning every detail, preparing every step, setting every boundary. What feels like subtraction is actually multiplication in disguise. For what I am removing now would have ruined what I am about to release. So breathe. Let the tears fall if they must. But do not let regret speak louder than revelation. I have spoken, and what I have spoken will not return void. I will not only guide you, I will go with you. And when the time comes, I will bring new companions. Those who walk in truth, those who carry fire, those who love you not for what you offer, but for who you are becoming in me. This is the call, beloved, the sacred call to separation. Do you hear it? My beloved child, now that you have stepped into the quiet, into the place where the voices of the world begin to fade, I can finally show you what I could not reveal while you were still surrounded by noise. In the stillness, I will make known the mysteries. In the silence, I will teach you the language of heaven. You have not been hidden because you are forgotten. You have been hidden because you are being prepared. This season of stillness is not a void, it is a womb. It is where identity is affirmed, vision clarified, and power refined. You are not stuck, you are being sanctified. Every day in this place is a hammer stroke to the old self and a gentle sculpting of the true self. You see, my child, many are called, but few are willing to be prepared in obscurity. Many desire the platform, but few surrender to the process. Many ask for power, but resist the pruning. But you, I have seen your surrender, even when it was quiet, even when it was questioned, even when it broke your heart. I have recorded every yes. And because of your surrender, I will reveal to you what others only speculate about. I will unveil mysteries that are hidden from the casual seeker. Because you chose intimacy over influence, I will make your life a vessel of revelation. In this sacred place, I am removing what cannot go with you into the next season. I am unrooting the pride that hides behind performance. I am draining the need to prove yourself. I am silencing the orphan spirit that strives for approval. And in its place, I am planting rest. The kind of rest that cannot be earned, only received. The kind of rest that allows you to walk into rooms with confidence, not because you have everything figured out, but because you know who sent you. You have long tried to carry things I never asked you to carry. Expectations placed on you by others, roles you assumed to avoid rejection, masks you wore to feel safe. But now, in this season, I am peeling it all away, not to shame you, but to free you. I am returning you to the unadorned beauty of being simply mine. You do not have to perform to be loved here. You do not have to achieve to be accepted here. You do not have to be strong every moment of the day. Let the tears come. Let the weariness surface. This is the only place where your weakness is not a liability but an invitation. For it is here in this holy space of brokenness that I pour out my strength without measure. I know how hard it has been. The moments when you felt unseen, the nights when you wondered if your prayers were floating unanswered into the void. But I assure you, not a single cry was ignored. Not a single tear was wasted. In fact, your weeping has watered the very soil from which your future will bloom. You have not been buried, you have been planted. And in due season you will rise not as a brittle branch, but as an oak of righteousness. This hidden season is not punishment, it is preservation, and more than that, it is promotion in disguise. You are being built from the inside out, so that when the winds come, you will not bend with the trends. When the voices of man rise up, you will not bow to the pressure. When temptation calls, you will recognize its counterfeit, because you will have learned to recognize my voice. In this place, I am teaching you to hear me in ways that bypass logic, to trust me in directions that defy human strategy, to walk by the compass of my spirit, not the maps of the world. I am giving you spiritual ears, not just to detect what is wrong, but to discern what is truly of me. I am training your senses to recognize the difference between good and God. For not everything that glitters is gold, and not every open door is of divine origin. Do you see now why I had to bring you away from the crowd? Why I disrupted what you thought was your path? It was not rejection, it was redirection. It was not the enemy winning, it was my mercy intervening. I interrupted your plans not because I wanted to frustrate you, but because I wanted to protect what I've hidden inside you. What I have placed within you is rare, sacred, eternal, and it cannot be exposed prematurely. Just as a child in the womb must be formed in darkness before it is revealed to the light, so too must your calling be developed in private. For the fire I'm kindling within you must burn deep before it can burn bright. I know this season is long. I know it is lonely. But do not measure your progress by movement. Sometimes stillness is the greatest advancement of all, because it is in the stillness that I rebuild what life tried to dismantle. It is here that I repair the breach between who you've been and who I've always known you to be. In the quiet, you will remember the voice of your Creator. In the silence, you will learn the rhythm of my heart. And once you learn that rhythm, you will no longer be pulled by urgency or driven by pressure. You will walk with deliberate peace, with measured grace, with a strength that needs no validation, and a clarity that silences confusion. My child, I am preparing you not for survival but for significance, not just to endure but to transform. And to do that, I must ensure that every part of you is rooted not in applause, but in truth. That your confidence is not built on outcomes, but on obedience. that your joy is not based on what is happening around you, but on who is dwelling within you. You are not wasting time here. This is the time that is shaping everything. This is the season where character is forged, where intimacy becomes foundation, where clarity is birthed through consecration. You are not behind. You are being refined. And when the time comes when I open the door you cannot yet see, you will walk through it not as the person you were, but as the one I've been shaping all along. You will not have to strive for the spotlight. My glory will rest on you in such a way that even in silence you will speak, even in quietness you will lead, even in stillness you will shift atmospheres. So stay here a little longer. Let the work finish. Let the fire complete its refining. Let me finish writing on the tablet of your heart. And when you emerge, the world will not see someone who was hidden. They will see someone who was held by me. My beloved child, now that you are in this place of refinement, you must understand, this fire is not here to consume you, but to cleanse you. It is not a punishment, it is proof that you are chosen. I only refine what is real. I only test what has value. You have not been forgotten in the flames, you have been marked as precious. Yes, the heat is intense. Yes, the pressure is unrelenting. But I am the one tending the fire, and I have set the temperature not to destroy you, but to reveal you. For too long you have doubted what I placed inside you. You've looked to others for confirmation of what I already whispered in the quiet. But now, through this fire, I will confirm it in your own spirit. I will cause the gold to rise and the dross to fall away. You will see yourself not through the cracked mirror of man's opinion, but through the reflection of my truth. This fire is a purifier, not a tormentor. It is the holy environment where lies lose their grip, where shame has no air to breathe, where all that is not eternal begins to melt. The fear you once carried, watch it burn away. The self-doubt that plagued you, watch it vanish in the light of my truth. The wounds you thought would always define you, watch them be healed, not with time, but with presence. My presence. For I am not watching you from afar. I am with you in the flames. Just as I was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace, preventing the fire, but entering into it, I am with you now. The enemy hoped the fire would silence you, but instead it is sanctifying you. He thought the trial would bury you, but instead it is birthing something eternal. Do not despise this season. Do not curse the fire, for it is in this very place that I am etching your name on assignments only you can fulfill. I am writing your authority not in ink, but in endurance. I am giving you spiritual credibility, not the kind that is loud and flashy, but the kind that carries weight in the invisible realms. The kind that causes darkness to tremble when you walk into the room, not because of who you are, but because of what you carry. And what you are carrying, child, is not a message, it is a mantle. It is not merely information, it is transformation. But that kind of authority cannot be taught. It must be formed. It cannot be borrowed. It must be forged in the secret place. That is why this fire feels so personal. Because it is. I am not mass-producing soldiers. I am handcrafting sons and daughters. I am teaching you how to walk slowly in a world that rushes, how to speak softly in a world that shouts, how to live purely in a world that celebrates compromise. I am teaching you how to love like I love, not for what others can give you, but because you see them through my eyes. I am giving you a heart that breaks for what breaks mine. A mind that thinks in alignment with eternity, a spirit that recognizes my whisper even amidst the chaos. This is not the kind of preparation you can explain. It will look strange to others. They will not understand why you've gone quiet, why your circle is smaller, why you no longer strive for the things that once thrilled you. Let them misunderstand, let them question. For what I am doing in you is not for display, it is for destiny. It is not for applause, it is for assignment. You are becoming the kind of person who can carry glory without being destroyed by it. The kind of person who can be given influence without it corrupting your identity. the kind of person who can bless others without needing them to validate you. This is maturity. This is holiness. This is the fire's purpose. And when the time comes when I send you back out into the world, it will not be as the same person. You will not speak from theory. You will speak from transformation. Your words will not echo knowledge, they will carry life. For they will have passed through the fire of lived experience, through the crucible of surrender. You will not need to announce your authority. It will be recognized in the fruit you bear, in the peace you carry, in the healing that follows you, in the way heaven responds when you pray, in the way hearts soften when you speak, in the way chains break, not because you shouted, but because you abided. This is what the fire is doing. And I know it's hard. I know there are days you want to run, to quit, to return to the comfort of what was. But do not turn back. Do not retreat from the very process that is unlocking your future. Every tear has been seen. Every silent prayer has been collected. Every trembling step of obedience has been marked. And none of it is in vain. The road ahead will not be free of battles, but you will be different. You will be rooted, not in your own strength, but in mine. And when the storms rage again, you will not panic. Because you will remember that we walked through the fire together and you did not burn. So stand firm, child. Stay surrendered. Let the fire finish what it started. For when you emerge, you will be like refined gold, pure, radiant, unshakable. And the world will see not just what you've overcome, but who you've become. Not a survivor, a vessel, not a wanderer, a warrior, not a shadow, a light. And the fire that once threatened to consume you will become the very testimony that crowns your calling. My beloved child, now that the fire has done its work, burned away what was false, refined what is true, and awakened what was hidden, I am ready to reveal to you why I called you apart, why I pressed pause on things that seemed to be going well, why I closed doors that felt promising, why I removed certain voices from your circle and shifted you into a space that felt unfamiliar, even lonely. It was not because I was withholding anything good from you. It was because I was preparing you to hold something greater, something eternal, something holy. There are assignments I am now releasing into your life that can only be carried by those who have walked through fire and did not curse it. Assignments that require not just gifting, but purity. Not just vision, but trust. Not just anointing, but obedience. These are not ordinary tasks. These are purposes forged in the deep, soaked in prayer, and bathed in my presence. You will begin to see it. Subtle at first. Invitations that feel different. Conversations that stir something deeper. Opportunities that align with your spirit, not your ego. The things that once excited you will now feel hollow, because your spirit has matured. You no longer crave visibility, you crave alignment. You no longer chase impact, you chase intimacy. This is how you know the shift has begun. Do not rush this unveiling. Let me guide each step. I am not sending you back into the world the same way you left it. You are not returning to prove yourself. You are being released to reveal me. The time you spent in silence, I will now amplify. The words I whispered to you in the dark, I will now cause to echo in places you never thought you'd stand. And it will not be by your strength. It will not be by networking, strategy, or force. It will be by grace, by the sheer weight of my presence resting on you. When you speak, it will not be about impressing, it will be about imparting. When you walk into rooms, you will not seek to be noticed. You will carry the fragrance of heaven that shifts the atmosphere without a word. This is the quiet authority I have clothed you with. And no one will be able to deny that something sacred walks with you. But remember, beloved, this is not the end. This is the beginning of walking in what was always written. Before you were formed in the womb, I knew this day would come. I saw every detour, every delay, every season of despair, and I still chose you, not in spite of your journey, but because of it. Every scar you carry, I will use as a doorway of compassion. Every season of loss will become wisdom that blesses others. Every moment you thought was wasted, I am weaving into the tapestry of redemption. You will become a living testimony, not just of survival, but of resurrection. But as I elevate you, never forget where your strength lies. The secret place must remain your home. The place of stillness, of listening, of yielding. This is where power flows. If you ever drift from that well, you will find yourself dry, even in the midst of influence. For it is not the crowds that sustain you, it is communion with me. Stay rooted, child. Remain tender. Let your heart never grow numb to my voice. The more I use you, the more you must return to the altar. For that is where I will continue to cleanse, refresh, and realign you. There will be times when the temptation to compromise reappears. Voices will rise, offering quicker paths, easier methods, wider doors. But remember, broad is the road that leads to destruction. I called you to the narrow path, not because I delight in difficulty, but because it leads to life. True, radiant, unshakable life. So measure success differently now. Not by numbers, applause, or recognition, but by obedience, by peace, by whether my presence still goes with you. If my presence does not dwell there, you do not belong there. Let that be your compass, let that be your guardrail. And when persecution comes, and it will stand firm, you are not called to please man, you are called to reflect me. Let them talk, let them judge, let them misunderstand. I will be your defender, I will be your vindicator, and I will surround you with those who see you through spiritual eyes. Yes, there are people divinely assigned who are being prepared even now to walk beside you, not for what you offer, but because their spirit bears witness with yours. When you meet them, it will be like two pieces of the same flame finding each other. These are covenant connections, unshakable, unexplainable, unstoppable. I have gone before you to prepare the land, to soften the hearts, to align the moments. You need not force anything, you only need to remain faithful. And as you do, you will watch the heavens open not for show, but for purpose. My beloved, what is coming is not about lifting your name, it is about lifting the veil, so that those still trapped in the shadows might see me through you. Your story will not be a monument to your strength, it will be a map for others to follow, a light on the path, a whisper that says, if God did it for them, He can do it for me. And that is what pleases my heart most. Not just that you overcame, but that you became a doorway for others to enter in. That through you more will believe, more will return, more will remember who they are. So walk boldly now, but remain humble. Let your confidence come not from skill, but from surrender. Let your authority flow not from knowledge, but from knowing me. For I have not sent you as a performer, but as a presence carrier, a living sanctuary, a walking tabernacle of my glory. And as long as you remain in me, you will never lack, you will never need to strive, you will never walk alone. My beloved child, now that you have been refined, commissioned, and clothed with purpose, I must teach you how to walk not in haste, not in pride, but in light. For many are called, and many are anointed, but few know how to walk in what has been entrusted to them without falling into the traps of self. And I do not want you to simply begin well, I desire for you to finish well. To walk in the light is not merely to walk in knowledge, it is to walk in truth, in transparency, and in tenderness. It is to live in such a way that your inner world reflects the radiance of the one who dwells within you. And to live like this, you must surrender daily, not once in dramatic fashion, but again and again, in the small decisions, in the quiet moments, in the spaces no one sees. You must choose light over convenience, truth over popularity, grace over vengeance, humility over applause. I know the road is narrow and sometimes lonely, but I assure you 'tis holy. And every step you take in light draws others out of darkness, even when they say nothing. People are watching, child, not the way the world watches, eager to find fault, but the way the hungry watch, longing for a glimpse of hope. Many are silently desperate to know if such a life is possible, if purity can survive in pressure, if peace can walk through storms, if integrity can flourish in shadows. And through you, I will answer those questions, not because you are perfect, but because you have allowed me to be present. The world does not need more noise. It needs more clarity. It does not need more icons. It needs more image bearers, those who carry my likeness, not as a title, but as a transformation. You are not called to echo the world's trends. You are called to reflect my nature, and my nature is consistent, steady, gentle, holy, loving. There will be temptations to return to old rhythms, to perform, to strive, to seek validation in applause or affirmation from those I did not assign to you. Resist them, not with anger, but with truth. Let every step you take be weighed in the light of my spirit. Let your motives be purified in my presence. Let your desires be continually surrendered to me. Do not worry about how fast others seem to be moving. Speed is not the measure, alignment is. I may ask you to pause while others accelerate. I may lead you into solitude while others are celebrated. Do not compare your path to theirs, for what I'm doing with you is specific, it is strategic, and it will be sustained only through intimacy, not imitation. Comparison is a thief. It steals your wonder. It blinds you to your own harvest. It makes you question what I've blessed. And I did not anoint you to be like them. I anointed you to be you. The one I formed in secret, the one I called by name, the one I've walked with through fire, water, wilderness, and silence. You will be tempted to minimize your story, to downplay your process, to act smaller so others feel more comfortable. But I did not bring you through all of that to hide you again. I am not raising up false humility. I am raising up radiant clarity. You are not to boast in yourself, but you are to stand in what I've done. For what I have done is holy. It is set apart. It is to be honored. Let your walk now be marked by rest, not passivity, but a divine ease. Let my voice lead your calendar. Let my spirit order your conversations. Let my presence be the weight that governs your yes and your no. You are not responsible to everyone. You are responsible to me. And I will guide you to the right places, the right people, the right moments if you remain sensitive. And yes, there will be days when you feel weak again. Days when the weight of what you carry feels heavy. When the enemy whispers, nothing has changed. But in those moments, do not reach for your own strength, reach for mine. Let your first response be worship, not worry. Let your first reaction be trust, not striving. You see, child, strength in my kingdom is not shown through control, it is revealed through surrender. Authority does not come from having the loudest voice. It flows from the one who listens longest, the one who kneels in the quiet, the one who forgives when it's hardest, the one who blesses without needing to be seen. Let this be your posture, to walk lightly upon the earth, but deeply rooted in me. Let your eyes be fixed on what is unseen. For the seen things are passing away, but what I am building in you is eternal. Even now, I am preparing places for you to enter. Rooms where your name has not yet been spoken, but where your presence will soon be felt. Not because of human favor, but because I go before you. I am opening doors not made by men, and when you walk through them, walk as one who carries heaven. Let your shadow carry healing. Let your silence carry peace. Let your tears carry intercession. Let your presence carry me. You are not walking into these places to take over. You are walking in to take territory for light, for love, for restoration. This is not a performance. It is a commissioning. You are not a brand, you are a bridge. You are not a leader because you hold a position. You are a leader because you are willing to serve. And if you walk this way, I will pour out wisdom that no education could teach. I will give you insight that no training could offer. I will cause your words to pierce not with volume but with truth. You will learn what it means to speak with fire, not the fire of anger, but the fire of purity. My child, this walk of light is not one you must master alone. I am with you. I will walk with you in the morning quiet and in the midnight hour. I will speak through dreams, through scripture, through whispers. I will correct you when your heart begins to drift. I will cover you when arrows fly. I will anchor you when the winds shift. And even when you feel like you've lost your way, remember this: I know the path, I wrote it, and I will finish what I started in you. You are not a wanderer, you are a witness, you are not forgotten, you are chosen. So walk, beloved, walk in light. My beloved child, now that you walk in light, there is one more truth I must place deep within you. Your yes to me carries weight beyond your understanding. It is not just a response, it is a ripple in eternity. Every time you choose me, you release something into the earth that shifts what cannot be seen. Your yes echoes in generations. It sets captives free, even those you may never meet. You see, the decisions you make in hidden obedience are not small to me. They are seeds, eternal seeds. The moment you turned away from bitterness and chose forgiveness, the moment you laid down your desire to be right and chose humility, the moment you surrendered your comfort to follow my voice, those were altars. And every altar built in secret will one day burn with glory in public. This is why the enemy fights you at the level of obedience, not just belief. He does not tremble at those who know truth, but are passive. He trembles at those who obey it, because every obedient child becomes a doorway for heaven to enter earth. And beloved, that is who you are. Your yes is not merely personal, it is prophetic. It clears paths not only for you, but for others who are watching, learning, waiting. When you choose my way over your will, you create a map for others to follow out of their own confusion. You become a living message that shouts, it's possible to live free, it's possible to live holy, it's possible to walk with God. And for every yes there is fruit. Not always immediate, not always visible, but always planted, always growing. Some fruit will emerge in this lifetime. Some will only bloom after you've long finished your earthly race. But all of it will matter. Nothing surrendered is lost. Nothing yielded goes unseen. Do you remember the widow who gave 2 small coins? To others it seemed insignificant, but in my eyes it was eternal. It was a yes that still preaches to this day. Your offering, whether it is time, energy, tears, or treasure eyes, never too small to matter in the kingdom. If it costs you, it carries weight. This is why the road I call you to is costly, because the reward is not temporal, it is eternal. I do not promise you ease, I promise you purpose. I do not promise that the world will always understand, but I promise that heaven will always see. There will be moments when your yes feels like loss, when obedience seems to lead to emptier rooms, quieter seasons, harder conversations. But I assure you, those are the places where the deepest oil is produced. That sacred oil pressed from the crushing, drawn from surrender will be what anoints your life. It will distinguish you not with loudness, but with lasting presence. Beloved, never underestimate the cost of obedience, but never underestimate its power either. For every no to the world is a yes to the eternal. And every yes to me releases more than you could imagine. Angels are dispatched, assignments are activated, strongholds are broken, not because of your might, but because of your agreement. This is why I keep bringing you back to my feet, not to limit you, but to align you. Because at my feet, your yes is refined. It becomes more than emotional, it becomes immovable. It is no longer based on feeling, but on faith. And from that place, you will begin to live from a strength that the world cannot give and cannot take away. So say yes again, even if it's trembling, even if you don't see the full picture, even if others question it. Say yes to the path I've marked out. Say yes to the people I've assigned to your care. Say yes to the quietness that feels costly. Say yes to the interruptions that carry my fingerprints. Say yes to the call, the cross, and the crown. Say yes to being different. Say yes to being set apart. Say yes to leaving what is popular for what is pure. Say yes to the refining fire. Say yes to the pruning that bears fruit. Say yes to me, because in every yes there is transformation, not just for you, but for the world around you. There are children who will be safer because you said yes. There are marriages that will be restored. There are chains that will be broken. There are regions that will feel the tremble of heaven because you dared to say, "Here I am, Lord, send me." And when the day comes that your race is finished, and you stand before men, no before crowds, but before your Creator, I will not ask how many followed you. I will ask how many you loved, how many you served, how many times you said yes to me when no one else saw. And in that moment, beloved, you will see that it was all worth it. Every late night of intercession, every lonely road, every offering no one thanked you for, every stand for righteousness that cost you friendships, every no to compromise, every yes to the narrow way. It will shine like gold. It will echo like thunder. It will be written in heaven's record as faithfulness. So continue to say yes, even when the doors are slow to open, even when the promises seem delayed, even when the voices around you are loud and your heart is tired. Because I am faithful, and I will never waste your surrender. I am multiplying your yes, my beloved child. Now that your heart has said yes, not just once, but again and again, even in silence, even in shadow, even when it felt like it cost everything, I want you to understand the nature of the reward I have prepared for you. It is not like the rewards of this world, which fade, which rust, which are quickly forgotten. No, the reward of faithfulness in my kingdom is sacred, eternal, and deeply personal. You must know this. I do not forget. I do not overlook. I do not miss a single moment of your devotion. What others ignored, I treasured. What you gave in secret, I recorded. What you poured out in private, I received as worship. And while the world honors what is seen, I honor what is surrendered. Heaven celebrates not the heights you reached, but the depths to which you trusted me. Let me remind you, every hour you spent weeping at my feet, I held those tears in my hand. Every prayer you whispered when no one responded, I echoed in eternity. Every burden you carried while still showing up for others, those moments were not wasted. They were weighty. They were holy. They are the building blocks of a legacy not made by man. I do not reward effort the way people do. I reward intimacy. I reward consistency. I reward those who remained faithful when applause stopped, when affirmation dried up, when results were invisible. My reward is not always swift, but it is sure. And when I give pressed down, shaken together, and running over, not only in material ways, but in peace, in wisdom, in strength that no storm can dismantle. Faithfulness is the key to my trust. There are things I reserve only for those who endure, not because I play favorites, but because some treasures are too weighty to be carried by untested hands. And your hands have been tested. They have held loss without turning bitter. They have served when it felt thankless. They have remained open even when they ached. That is why I am placing more in your hands now, not because of merit, but because of maturity. I can trust you with what others would mishandle. I can send you where others would crumble. I can whisper things to you that require discernment, not discussion. I can bring broken hearts to your doorstep, knowing you won't rush to fix them. You will sit, listen, love. This is what faithfulness has built in you. Not just strength, but softness. Not just resilience, but reverence. You have learned that my presence is more valuable than results. You have discovered that it is better to wait with me than to run without me. You have tasted what it means to be truly kept not by circumstances, but by grace. And now, child, Watch what I do with all that you've yielded. There are doors that will open not because you knocked, but because your obedience unlocked them in the Spirit long ago. There are places that will welcome you not because you sought them, but because I have gone before you. There are people whose lives will be changed simply because you remained. Do you see it now? The power of staying, of holding on when others let go, of praying when others walked away, of believing when logic said, give up. That kind of faithfulness moves heaven. It shakes foundations. It builds altars that generations will worship around. Because faithfulness is not only about the past, it is a prophecy. Every time you showed up when it didn't make sense, you were declaring God is still worthy. Every time you chose love over bitterness, you prophesied, grace will have the final word. Every time you stood firm, you told hell, this one belongs to the Lord. My child, your life is a testimony not of perfection, but of perseverance. You did not quit. You did not grow cold. You did not trade your crown for comfort. And because of that, I call you faithful. Not the world, not the voices. I do. And that word faithful will carry you into every room I now open. It will be the fragrance on your words, the fire in your prayers, the gentleness in your counsel. Others will not always know why they feel peace when you walk in. But I will know. Heaven will know. The Spirit within you will know. You are marked now not by status, but by substance. You carry the aroma of someone who has been with me, the residue of someone who has remained. So when promotion comes, stay grounded. When platforms grow, stay low. When influence increases, stay surrendered. For the greatest reward is not position, it is proximity to me. The deepest blessing is not what I do through you, but what I do in you. And remember this, faithfulness is not a season, it is a lifestyle. Even now, new opportunities will require fresh surrender. New assignments will demand deeper roots, but you are ready. Not because you feel ready, but because you've been forged in the fire. And I walk with you. Let my reward not just be what I give, but who I become to you. Let my voice be your reward. Let my presence be your portion. Let my delight in you satisfy places no crown could ever reach. You have been faithful. And now, I will be faithful to finish what I started in you. My beloved child, now that you understand the value of your yes and the sacred reward of your faithfulness, it is time for me to speak to you about your impact, not the kind measured in metrics, but the kind that reverberates through eternity. For you were not prepared, refined, and held only for yourself. Everything I've done within you is for the sake of those I will now send you to. You are my vessel, not an echo, but a voice, not a copy, but a calling. The world does not need another imitation. It needs you full of me, awakened to purpose and willing to carry my heart wherever you go. You must understand this. The impact I am entrusting to you is not about magnitude, it is about accuracy. It is not about how many see you, but how clearly you see me. Because the clearer your vision of me, the more precise your impact will be. The more deeply you abide, the more powerful your words will become. The more fully you surrender, the more weight your life will carry in the unseen. Some are called to speak to nations. Others are called to whisper truth into one heart at a time. Do not compare your impact to another's. I measure obedience, not outcome. What looks small on earth may shake kingdoms in the spirit. What seems unnoticed by man may cause a celebration in heaven. I do not need volume to cause a revival. I need a vessel that is clean, willing, and full of me. That's what you are now. There are people I am preparing to cross your path, wounded ones, wandering ones, watchful ones. They are not seeking religion, they are seeking reality. They are starving for authenticity. And through you, they will taste the fruit of what intimacy looks like when it walks on 2 feet. You are not being sent with slogans. You are being sent with substance, not with formulas, but with fire. You will speak simple words, but they will carry revelation. You will offer silent prayers, but they will shake the unseen. You will simply listen, but the atmosphere around hearts will begin to shift. Because you are not coming in your name, you are coming in mine. You've asked, Lord, what if they don't receive me? But I say, do not fear rejection. Fear compromise. Do not fear being misunderstood. Fear misrepresenting me. I am not calling you to be liked. I am calling you to be faithful. Speak the truth in love. Love without conditions. Serve with no strings, and I will handle the harvest. You've asked, Lord, what if I'm not enough? But I say, child, you never were meant to be enough alone. I am your sufficiency. When you feel weak, draw from me. When you don't know what to say, ask and I will give you wisdom. When you feel like shrinking back, remember the fire that brought you this far. This is not the time to retreat. There will be moments when I ask you to step forward into places that feel beyond your comfort, beyond your qualifications. But do not look at yourself. Look at me. If I have opened the door, walk through it. If I have placed the word in your heart, speak it. If I have stirred your compassion, act on it. Do not delay. Do not disqualify yourself. You will be amazed at what I can do through a surrendered heart. It won't always look dramatic. Some of your greatest impact will come through consistent love, quiet strength, and unshakable peace. The way you forgive, the way you keep your word, the way you love your enemies, the way you notice the forgotten. These things matter to me, and they will matter to those who are watching you without saying a word. You may never know their names, but I do, and your obedience will write history in their hearts. Let me send you, beloved, not with pressure but with power, not with fear but with faith. The commissioning I place on you is not a burden, it is a blessing. I go before you. I prepare the conversations. I soften the hearts. I establish the timing. All I need is your availability. So do not wait for a stage. Your assignment may begin at a table. It may begin with one phone call, one text, one act of kindness, one moment of courage. That is how impact begins, not with noise, but with presence. You have walked with me in the hidden place. Now carry me into the hurting places. Let your life be an answer to the cries no one else hears. Let your peace disarm the chaos in others. Let your prayers become walls of protection for those too weary to pray. Let your worship become warfare. Let your humility open gates. You are a carrier of my kingdom. You are not being sent to argue, but to anchor. Not to impress, but to illuminate. You are a light, and light does not need to shout. It only needs to shine. So go, beloved. Go in gentleness, but go in boldness. Go in grace, but go in truth. Go knowing you are not alone. I am with you. My angels go before you. My spirit is within you, and my favor will surround you like a shield. You have been commissioned. My beloved child, now that you have heard my voice, walked through my fire, surrendered to my timing, and accepted my commissioning, you must now rest in my promise. For all that I have spoken, I will fulfill. All that I have begun, I will complete. Not one word I have whispered to you in the stillness will fall to the ground. Not one seed of obedience will go unrewarded. You do not carry this call alone. You are yoked with me, and my burden is light. You will still face days of uncertainty. Storms will still come. People may still disappoint you, but none of these will undo what I have declared over your life. Because my word is not anchored in your perfection, it is anchored in my character, and I do not change. When you feel tired, I will be your rest. When you feel surrounded, I will be your shield. When you feel confused, I will be your clarity. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. And even in the valley, even in the shadows, even when no one sees or understands, I will walk with you. For I am not just your God in the public moments, I am your Father in the private pain. I will never abandon the one I have chosen. I will never forsake the one I have refined. Beloved, my love for you is not fragile. It does not waver when you stumble. It does not retreat when you question. It does not grow cold when you grow quiet. I love you because I am love, and that love will carry you through every season yet to come. So breathe now. Rest your soul. There is no striving here, no pressure to prove, no fear of falling behind. You are where I need you to be. You are becoming who I created you to become. And from this place of rest, I will continue to lead you step by step, day by day, breath by breath. You are safe in my plan, secure in my presence, rooted in my promises. So when the days ahead stretch you, remember who called you. When voices try to distract or diminish you, remember who anointed you. When doubts arise and the road narrows again, return to this truth. I am with you. I am for you. I am the one who holds your future, and it is glorious. Let joy return to your bones. Let laughter rise again. Let wonder awaken. For I have not only called you to carry my presence, I have called you to walk in my joy. The journey is not one of heaviness, but of holiness, not of performance, but of peace. I bless you now not with shallow comfort, but with deep courage. I bless you with discernment that cuts through confusion. I bless you with wisdom that transcends experience. I bless you with vision that sees beyond today. I bless you with a heart that stays soft. And I bless you with feet that do not grow weary in well-doing. You are an answer to someone's prayer. You are a living altar. You are a messenger wrapped in light. You are a testimony that I still speak, still move, still redeem. So go now, not in fear, but in faith. Not in striving, but in surrender. Not in your name, but in mine. And always return to the secret place, to the quiet well, to my presence where it all began, and where it will always begin again. You are my beloved, and I am yours forever. Amen.